What's up YouTube, this is Dragon and this is another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. So let's get to the battle at hand. Well, have I got some amazing battles for you. These are some battles that I did while I was preoccupied with quite a lot of things, and you are going to see just how amazing this battle went down. This is one of the best battles I ever had. I'd say it's maybe not one of the best empirically, but it was definitely good. So I was debating on whether I would lead with my KoiandDragon or my Rotom. Unfortunately, my opponent led with this Pokemon, so now I'm at a disadvantage, so I immediately have to switch, and I go into my Rotom, and I'm like, okay, he's most likely, hopefully he's going to be the physical, because if he's the physical type, then I'll be able to just resist a lot of this Pokemon's attacks. But unfortunately, he is the special type. So now I'm taking a Hyper Voice. It's still not very effective, but it's still doing a lot of damage nonetheless. And I don't like that. At least he won't be using returns. So, you know, I feel a little bit better about that. Or better yet, he's specially based. So it makes you feel a little bit better. So now I go for the Will-O-Wisp because I know that I just want to do some sort of residual damage. I don't even care what it is. I need to do it. Now I know that this Draco Meteor is going to finish off my Rotom. My Rotom is now obliterated and just doesn't even exist. He got meteored into another dimension. So now this Salamence is taking 24% damage. Let's see, yeah, about 24% damage. And I send up my KoiandDragon. And right now I'm like, okay, my opponent either will stay in or switch or just give up the dragon. I'm like, let's see what he does. So I go for the Stone Edge, and unfortunately I missed the Stone Edge. Now it's not really that big of a deal because it's a Tyranitar, but I am worried that he may possibly be counter Tyranitar because I've seen some crazy stuff like that before. So fortunately he's not, and I'm able to then go for the Drain Punch. And luckily there's no intimidation because this Pokemon is now a Mega Salamence. So from here, Sandstorm is brewing, the Burns are in tuning, and now I will then go for the Drain Punch once again because I'm like, maybe I can live one Hyper Voice. I'm really happy I did not go for the Stone Edge because as you can see here, that would have been very, very bad, especially if I would have missed. And oh boy, oh, I can't wait to see this battle. So I go for the Drain Punch, and now my opponent probably doesn't realize that he's not really gaining much of a profit by continually roosting. So I go for the Drain Punch again as he goes for the roost again. And from here, now I'm really happy because I'm like, okay, after this Drain Punch, maybe I can go in for the Mach Punch and then do some damage, and if it's a crit or something like that, maybe I can kill it, you know? But who knows what's gonna happen. So gets buffeted by the Sandstorm, and let's see, does the burn? Yep, then the burn procs, and maybe I could get a crit Mach Punch from here. And no, but I was also worried about, no, I didn't go for the Mach Punch because I was worried about the roost again, and I didn't want to play that game. And I was thinking I could survive one Hyper Voice, but obviously I could not survive one Hyper Voice. But because this Pokemon is this Pokemon, I'm able to then go into my Venusaur, and I'm like, please, do not roost. Do not roost. If you roost, if he roosted, it would have been over. It would be over right now. Please don't roost. So I use Protect, and now the play of the century, he uses Hyper Voice, and I am back into the game, folks. So that is a dead Mega Salamence, and now from here, this is where things get amazingly interesting. So he sends out his Excadrill. He sends out the Excadrill, he uses the Swords Dance, Giga Drain, min-max damage, puts it at just a little bit under 50%, and now I Giga Drain again, and there it is. That is the KO of the century. Min-max, timid, max special attack, max speed damage, baby. Let's go. So now from here, it all depends on what type of Tyranitar this is. I am thick fat because this is a Mega Venusaur, so I'm not necessarily worried about anything like Fire Blast because it'll just do neutral damage and it's non-stab. So he goes for the Dark Pulse, potentially going for the flinch. I mean, it is a potential thing. but nonetheless, I am faster, so he won't be able to flinch me anyway. So what am I talking about? But I go for the Leech Seed, just in case he's like a Dragon Dancer or something. Like, you never know. You never know. But then from there, my opponent forfeits, and oh man, like that was a huge twist, man. Like at first I thought I was like definitely gonna lose, but then like it just turned out to be that I was definitely gonna win, and that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Now here is the next battle. This, my fellow dragons, is a very, very interesting battle, and it will commence right now. So let's see. I was predicting my opponent to send out either that Pokemon or man, I can't really remember, but nonetheless, from here I withdraw, and then I go into my my Rotom. Yes, that's right. So I go into my Rotom, predicting him to either use the U-turn or the Earthquake. And this is the max defense Rotom, so you know that'd be good. And if you were for Earthquake, I was like, you know, that's bad. So from here, bam, I missed the Will-O-Wisp. I'm pretty upset at this point because I'm like, I had to get it that first time. So I go for Will-O-Wisp again, knowing that he might have the Blaziken on his team. He does have the Blaziken on his team. Obviously, Will-O-Wisp doesn't affect it. Now I'm in a real precarious situation. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do if this Blaziken kills this Rotom? I'm pretty much going to be good gamed right here. So he goes for the Protect, and you guys know what type of Rotom that I carry. So I immediately turn the tides of the battle, and I go for the Resto Testo. And now my opponent is full of regret because, well, he could have had the advantage by immediately going for the kill. And he actually may have immediately won right then and there. Now my opponent has to deal with this situation, so you know he's like, what am I gonna do? So he goes into his Landorus Therian, and I go for the Hydro Pump, and the Hydro Pump does not miss. And if this Hydro Pump missed right here, I would have lost. And you'll see, you know, whether I lose or win, you know, yeah, don't worry about it. So right now, I'm like, okay, obviously, you know, he's gonna use like some super powerful move. Like, I was like, I didn't know like what my opponent was really gonna do, because like this Landorus is just like, no, like I didn't know. Like, he's most likely gonna go for U-turn. Obviously, he was going to go for the Earthquake because of Levitate. So I'm like, you know, like the only purpose Venusaur has in this battle is for like doing some sort of damage to either the Blaziken or the Landorus. Now, I also was thinking like, wow, that U-turn did a lot of damage. So I know that he's choice banded. And guys, check that out. You saw how I was faster? I was faster than that Blaziken. He took my Venusaur for granted. Never take a Venusaur for granted. I think it's 282 or 262 for max speed. And I think Mega Blaziken is like, I don't know. Doesn't matter. I was faster. So that's that. I was able to get off one Sludge Bomb, and that was also key because, as you're gonna see right here, I'm now gonna go for the Mach Punch. And let's see, now he goes into the Landorus, and I'm like, okay, you know what am I gonna do right now? It's gonna be a bit of a weird situation because it's not really gonna kill, but as you can see, it still does a significant amount of damage. So now he just goes for a hard withdrawal, and I'm like, okay, you know, what's up with that? Why is he going to go for a hard withdrawal? And he then goes into his Ferrothorn. And this is why I said that my Venusaur is kind of like useless. Not really like useless in the battle, but couldn't really do much because Ferrothorn pretty much just completely walls my Venusaur unless I use like Giga Drain repeatedly. And you know, that's just like, come on, it's ridiculous. So now I switch, you know, I double switch because, you know, I find it more advantageous to go back into my Conkeldurr and then go for Drain Punches so that I can put my opponent in a forced situation. Because, like, see right here, he's just stalling for time, he's using Protect and things like that. And if he switches back into his Landorus, I know I have just enough power to be able to drain the life force right out of that Landorus' soul. So he does exactly that, and now he switches into his Landorus, thinking that the Intimidate will be just enough to make it that I won't be able to kill it with the Drain Punch. But if you saw how much Mach Punch did, you will predict that the Drain Punch would do just enough to be able to take out that Landorus. And there it is, that is a dead Landorus. The biggest threat on his team is now down. So now the only thing that I have to worry about is this Pokemon right here, and now I am almost certain that he's going to go for the Protect because he's going to want that extra health. So I predict the Protect and I go over to my Rotom, and he does just that. he goes for the protect, gets the speed boost, but by now it's already too late. Now, max defense, max health points, he goes for the high jump kick, and it only does just enough to not kill me. And then I retaliate with the Thunderbolt, and that is it for that Mega Blaziken. So now, the only Pokemon he has left is the Ferrothorn. And what will happen now? Will I miss the Will-O-Wisp? I do not miss the Will-O-Wisp, and it hits this amazingly defensive and well-played Ferrothorn. So now the Power Whip commences, and my Ferrothorn, no, my Rotom now bites the dust. But at this point, the game is pretty much locked down in my favor, because it is a burned Ferrothorn that I have to fight, and then my Conkeldurr is out here just, you know, doing whatever he wants to do at this point. Max health points, max attack, adamant, you know, let's go. So now from here, he's gonna actually go for the Thunder Wave, and I'm like, okay, you know, like hopefully, like I don't like get, I don't know, power hacks to death. That's wait, no, but then again, he's burned, you know, so I mean, he would have to have Will-O-Wisp, no, he would have to have Leech Seeded me previously, but nonetheless, you know, it looks like it's gonna go pretty well. So I go for the Mop Punch just in case he happens to be, you know, faster for whatever reason. Most people make like minimum speed Ferrothorns, but nonetheless, that right there was a good game. I love that Rocky Helmet and the Iron Barb combo. One of the best combos to do for Ferrothorn, and that, my fellow Dragonites, was an amazing game by some amazing players, and I personally feel that it was an amazing game by me as well. Then again, that is of course up for your opinion to decide whether you feel that the games were played well or not. Nonetheless, I feel I did a pretty good job. Huh. Man, those are some great battles. You know, I rarely have battles like that. You know, I like it when I have battles that are just adventurous. Like, it's just like, when the moment is going this way, and then no, it's going to curve around and come about the other way. Those are the best battles, my fellow Dragonites, and I am glad that you guys enjoy these battles, and as you know, I will see you in the next one. Well, see you later.